Studio A in sunny Florida, welcome to Beauty and the Beach Radio, where it's all about who's beautifying Vero Beach. Today's show is brought to you by Dale Sorensen Real Estate. And here's your host and glamour girl, makeup artist, Cindy Getz.
Hey guys, welcome back to Beauty and the Beach Radio. We missed you. We hope you had a great week. We have a celebrity in the house today, and he's giggling while the intro is on because he is the voice of the intro. So please welcome to Beauty and the Beach for the millionth time, Lou Wilson.
A celebrity voiceover, eh?
Yes! I never get tired of hearing your intro.
Well, that's nice to hear.
Yeah, you're like...
I was talking to you, and I wasn't listening. I said, oh, my God, that's my voice.
I know, that was funny. You're like, wait, is that me? He's whispering as it's rolling, yeah.
You don't think about the sound of your own voice.
No.
I never do.
That's true, and it does sound different than what we hear in our own heads, so...
I hope so.
Yeah, yeah. No, it's so good. Although it does bring back a little pain, if you remember when we did that.
I'll never forget.
You were not feeling good, and I'm like, Lou, one more time with a little more energy. Lou, come on, we can do this.
I was feeling fine when we started. 2 hours later, I wasn't feeling so good.
Stop it. You make me sound like a drill sergeant. Yeah, I am.
Don't look like a drill sergeant.
Oh, thanks. So, Lou, I thought it'd be really fun today to kind of let some people in on a little challenge that we're doing. The 22 and 22 challenge. We are not done with it. We have till the end of the year, the end of 2022 to complete it. And
I think we're going to need that.
So do you want to share what this 22 and 22 challenge is?
Sure. Cindy and I have known each other a long time. I think, oh God, maybe 10, 15 years.
At least,
time.
Yes.
You were 12, I think. When I met.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And we've always talked about a lot of things, but religion is one of them.
Yes.
And we haven't agreed, but we haven't really disagreed. We're very civilized people. And Cindy came up with the idea of trying a bunch of different churches. So 22 and 22. We're going to try to visit 22 churches. You just mentioned that we're at 7 now.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, we've got a ways to go. We made up some double Sundays, I think. But so far, we've been to Methodist, Catholic, Baptist. It's really an interesting experience. You know,
and absolutely, and I'm going to layer what you're talking about, Lou. So if we really dug a little deeper, as you said, usually when we have lunch or we'll go out, we'll discuss religion. Mm-hmm. And I finally said, Lou, why don't you figure out, there's a church that's within a block of where you live. And I said, it's a new church and it's beautiful. I said, look, you find out the time the service, and I'll go with you, because I've been curious too. Yeah. And we both were curious, so we were like, let's go. So you figured out the time, and we met there, and it was an interesting experience.
It was a very interesting experience.
I don't think it was
what I expected.
Me either. It was an Episcopal church, and I think we both thought it would be more Catholic, and it was a little more charismatic, if I could just simplify it.
I think that's a good way to put it. It's a quick story that my father used to tell. He was sometime during the war, maybe after the war, he was in England. We're Catholic. And he went to confession, and he got to a point where he said to the priest, I don't know how to explain this or whatever. And the priest said, well, if it's uncomfortable, you don't have to, that's all right. You don't have to worry about it. And that was spam, by the way, too. So
that was God calling.
He said to my dad, well, it's all right if it's uncomfortable. You don't have to confess it. And my father, lights going on, said, is this a Catholic church? And he said, no, son, this is a Church of England. So there are bits and pieces of a lot of these churches that fit together in slightly different ways. And something that's always interested me. I'm Catholic schools all the way through, but I have a lot of questions about the Catholic Church and other churches too.
And, I knew that when we both went to this initial church on the beach, and afterwards we had lunch at Ryder's, which is close by, and we just kind of chatted about it. And I think you were, I don't know, it just wasn't what maybe you thought and so
No.
so we both left lunch. Of course, we always enjoy, each other's company. But later that day, because my brain doesn't stop. So
Ever.
later that day, I'm texting you. I don't know where this came from, but it was actually born from the idea that we both were like, okay, but I don't know that we would necessarily revisit. It was enjoyable to see the inside.
That was my take on it
So
too.
yeah, so we are glad we did, but then it kind of both made us curious. And so I texted you that evening and I said, Lou, we're going to do the 22 and 22 challenge. And of course, you being one of my best friends, you're like, well, okay, but what is that? And I said, we're going to visit 22 churches in the year 2022. So I call it the buffet of churches.
Yes, that's good.
Right?
I like that.
So-
If you told me, I didn't remember you telling me that.
I've been trying to describe it to other people, so
Yeah.
I haven't actually told you that. But I'm telling other people it's like a buffet of churches. We're just seeing what we like and what is interesting and what's noteworthy. And so as you said, we are up to 7.
Mm-hmm.
We have visited 7 churches, and you actually did your homework. I said, find out how many. Because someone said, is there really 22 churches in
Again, I don't remember. How many did we come up with?
So you did your homework, and I actually Googled, and apparently there are 67 churches in Vero Beach.
That sounds right.
Yeah.
I remember being stunned at how many there were.
Yeah, well, because somebody asked, is there really 22 churches to visit? And I was like,
A lot more.
yes. And out of that 67, there are 33 different denominations. 33.
I don't remember that, but
Yeah.
I take your word. That's, well, there's so many, even within, say, the Baptist. There are
Right.
probably 10 different Baptist churches in town.
Right.
I'm going to get this wrong and look like a real idiot, but there's a book from the turn of the century, from like 1890s, something, Varieties of Religious Experience, by a man, I think it was Henry James. And not exactly this, but there is this infinite variety of ways that people find to seek God.
Yeah.
And for a long time, there was only one way. It was the Catholic Church. It was Judaism and Muhammad and so on, but it was largely Catholic if you were a Christian, because the Catholics they would insist. And now it's opened up so much, and there's so many different things to look at. And I think that's what we're doing. I think the curiosity is a good curiosity.
Well, and for those that don't know, and I think they got the idea, but you grew up in an all-boy Catholic school.
I did.
So,
Well, grade school was boys and girls, and then they decided we liked the girls too much, so they said no more girls.
oh, geez. So the Catholic philosophy is very ingrained in you, but yet people need to know you really haven't been going to church
I have not. That's
your
true.
adult life.
Yeah.
And so I thought, well, let's just have for fun, since you've not really been introduced to any other religion
That's true.
or denomination, let's just see what else is out there. And I think you've been enjoying the process as much as me, and it's getting me out of my
Absolutely.
comfort zone
Absolutely.
too.
My grandmother, who was a devout congregationalist, and when I say devout, I mean devout. She knew her Bible. And she would say, I was a little boy, she would say, how come it's okay for me to go to your church, but you can't go to my church? And the Catholic Church in those days said that it was a sin to go to a church other than a Catholic church.
Wow.
And that resonated with my 8-year-old brain.
Yeah.
So maybe I'm
sure.
doing this now. But it never made sense to me. Why were we afraid to go to somebody else's church?
Right.
Nothing bad. Lightning will not strike.
No,
It's
no, it hasn't struck us yet.
Not yet,
No.
but hey.
So I'm going to run down the 7. I won't mention actual names, but just so people have an idea. So our first one was an Episcopal church.
Mhm.
The second one was actually Episcopal
It
church.
was.
And you knew someone that went there, and they said, hey, come along. So we met them.
Yeah. And then we had lunch afterwards.
Yep. So the first one we had lunch at Ryder's. Second one we had lunch. It's all about the lunch after church too, right? The second one we had lunch at First Watch.
Right.
Okay, with some friends. The third one we went to a non-denominational, and that, if I had to say, maybe that was one of your favorite churches and one of your favorite pastors.
strange enough, it was.
Yeah.
There was an
way-
honesty in there that I didn't see everywhere. I teasingly said to you, I was waiting for the snakes to come out
Yes.
because it's pretty primitive.
Yes. And
but
Cindy, if I could have
liked
you
it.
show the picture with the pastor with his tongue out, because he's been on the show, so, and he is a goof. So
you've
he
had
will
him
not
on the show?
Yes, so he will not mind us showing. So here he is. This is Luz. This is Luz. I hate that picture of me, but I am sacrificing myself for this because this is Derek West.
Honey, nobody's going to look at you. They're going to be looking at him with his tongue sticking out.
But this is Pastor Derek West. He is a goof, but he is very knowledgeable and very, very smart with the Word of God. And so shout out to Derek West. And we had lunch at the Yacht Club after that with some friends. So that was lovely. It's been interesting to see also not only the church experience, but also the people experience. The many people that have,
that's a big part of it.
that have asked us to go to lunch afterwards, or even there's been a little competition like, oh, well, if you went there, come to ours next week.
Yeah.
So that's been really cute.
Well, everybody's a recruiter.
Yeah, no, it's been, and they want us to meet them there. And so it's been really fun and interesting to see who's been hospitable and
But don't you kind of think everybody's been hospitable?
Yes.
Some more interested in having us join their church.
yes.
Seeing us as a potential recruit.
Yep.
Where I think you and I are just experiencing the thing.
Yeah, I made you for a while sign all the visitor cards, and then afterwards he's
See
like,
how much mail I get?
and he was like, Cindy, I'm not doing it because you were getting. I think
You got me into a debate with somebody too.
Oh, I did, didn't I?
Yeah.
Oh, it's been fun. Easter service, that was our fourth one. We did, and Cindy, I think you've got a picture of us on the beach. That was Easter Sunday, and we went to J.C. Park. And we listened because I've always wanted to listen to the Easter service on the beach.
Yes.
So that was that day, and we actually saw the sunrise come up, and that was really
neat.
special.
It was. Yes. Yeah.
That was really special.
I think the whole thing is special. I'm assuming that you enjoy it as much as I am.
Absolutely.
But I really do enjoy this.
We walked back from JC after Easter service. A lot of people, by the way, chairs set up on the lawn. It was
good
very
turnout.
full.
It
Yes.
was.
And we hit Mulligan's on the way back for breakfast. So that was fun. That was fun.
It's the only place that was open, I think.
I know. Because it was Easter Sunday. We had breakfast at Mulligan's on Easter Sunday. Hey, it's okay.
That's what it's there for.
The fifth one, we visited a Baptist church out on 58th Avenue, and our lunch that day was a bust. That was, I will say it was Steak and Shake, and it was
Well, they had
maybe
a water
not
main
to
break.
the yes
We were going to go to
Cracker Barrel. But there was a water main break, and it was not a good experience. Yeah.
I'm a long time Steak and Shake guy.
But we were hungry. We thought it would be
taste
cool.
like Steak and Shake.
Really. Ugh.
It was good.
Yeah. So that was our fifth. Sixth one was my church. And Cindy, I think you have a photo of the church there. That is actually my church. That is the Methodist Church on 60.
It was a nice church. I liked your pastor too.
Yes. So it was very lovely. Pastor Jeremy, thank you. Great service. And if you've not been there, you need to try it out. That's on Route 60. And we went to Bocce afterwards for lunch. A nice little Italian place.
What I enjoyed most about that was talking to your pastor. And what he said in his sermon that he, I guess before he became a minister, he spent less than a week, but still he went to a monastery. And you say monastery, you're talking about a Catholic usually, and that's what it was.
And you said that. You're like, you're not Catholic. Why did you go?
He was curious about the monastery experience. It was what's the word for it? It's a closed monastery. You can't talk. There are certain times of the day they're allowed a little bit of talking, but generally it's silenced. And he decided very quickly that wasn't for him. I can imagine that. But I thought it was interesting that he was curious enough to try that.
Yep.
That's not for everybody.
Yep.
It shows an open mind to me.
He said after 2 hours of not talking, he was like,
he didn't last very long. I think he lasted a little longer than 2 hours, but he didn't last very long. I've made retreats where you didn't talk for 48 hours or even 72 hours, but I can't imagine a lifetime of that.
No.
And yet,
there's some Yeah, some out there.
Interestingly enough, a lot of people after the war, a lot of men who came back from World War II, there was no discussion, no post-traumatic experience in those days. They came back to a very unpleasant reaction from a lot of people who were against the war. But a lot of them ended up going in. The whole monastery idea sort of came back in vogue for a while. I think these men were seeking some kind of peace. And for some of them, the monastery fit those needs.
Yeah.
So I don't know that it's popular today, but throughout history, it has been there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and that is kind of coming back in a different way. You see a lot of therapists promoting silence and turning off the phone and finding a little place where there's no, noise. We need that.
Our lives are busy today, and the phone rings and the television's on, and there's very little silence in our world.
Mm-hmm.
So I think, I
Don't
think
be
it's
afraid of the silence.
Don't be afraid of the silence.
Yeah. So our last one, as of now, our seventh church, we actually waited until then to do Catholic.
Mm-hmm.
That is what you're familiar with, and that was a lovely experience. It wasn't what we thought because it actually was not held in the.
No, it wasn't held in there in St. Helens. Let's go ahead and say.
What do you say, cathedral or?
No, it's just it's
sanctuary.
It wasn't held in the church. They're remodeling the
Okay.
church, so they had it at the parish hall.
Yeah.
And it's too bad because St. Helens is a very pretty little church. I think I told you I actually went to school down there probably about 1948 for 6 months. My dad was building a motel, and we all came. We didn't all come down, but I came down part of the time. My brother came down part of the time. I guess we were keeping an eye on Dad. I don't know.
Oh my gosh, that is
I have a
such
long
good
history
stuff.
in Vero Beach.
You do. By the way,
1948.
is that building still on US 1 that your dad was building for the hotel?
No, we sold that a long time ago, and it's been torn down. That's where the is it Walmart in there now? 17th Street, US 1.
Oh yeah, that little.
It's a great corner.
Yeah.
I wish it was still our building.
Oh right. Oh my gosh. So I will say one thing that pleasantly surprised me and maybe didn't surprise you about the Catholic experience was it was packed. Now, mostly, and just for people, so I had not been to church for a couple of years because of COVID.
Right.
Your lifetime. but
She doesn't spare me, does she?
I know, but I was surprised. One that the one we just went to was packed. The others were not packed. As a matter of fact, you were leaving going, gosh, I'm surprised there's not more people. For most of the churches that we attended, I think you were surprised at it wasn't a full house. But I do think it's COVID related. However, the Catholic Church, they were bringing chairs out still when the service already started.
The Catholic Church is a different way of ensuring attendance.
Yeah.
It's a mortal sin if you don't go on Sundays. You burn in hell.
Okay, well,
that's
it's working for them.
Well, it keeps the people in the seats.
Yeah.
That's under discussion along with a lot of other things in the Catholic Church right now. We get a turnout.
We are not going to be led back to any of the other Catholic churches.
May not be if they see us coming.
Oh my
We'll
gosh.
Put a little mask on or something.
And speaking of masks, I was surprised, and I don't know about you, Lou, but not too many people
You're right.
in this experience have worn masks.
Didn't notice that at the time, but I thought about it afterwards. You're right. Yeah.
So, but I mean,
including us.
Yeah, but we timed it where we thought it was over. Of course, we've got new variants now, but we really thought we were kind of timing it on the back end of this. So,
well, I felt safe up until this second coming now, or whatever's going on, but because I've gotten all my shots and I haven't worried about it, but you try to be careful.
Absolutely. We have to go to a station break, guys. We're talking about the 22 and 22 challenge with Lou Wilson. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
At Compass Pest Control, we focus on killing pests where they live and breed by terminating them outside your home or office before they can get in. Hi, I'm Chris Hudman, co-owner of Compass Pest Control. We prevent roaches, ants, and other pests from getting inside with a proactive approach. We don't stop there. We also offer lawn and plant health programs. And we'll never sell you something you don't need. At Compass Pest Control, our prices are competitive, your satisfaction is guaranteed. Get a free estimate. Visit compasspests.com.
Revive Vero Beach, located next to Anytime Fitness on Oslo Road and 27th Avenue, has everything you need to look and feel your best, including hormone replacement therapy, stem cell therapy, sexual wellness, weight loss, laser aesthetics, hair, tattoo, and skin spot removal, Botox and fillers, cryotherapy, comprehensive blood work, and everybody's favorite ozone and IV therapy. Refresh, renew, and revitalize yourself at Revive today. Call 772-492-6607. A member of the iTex trading community. Your iTex dollars are welcome.
Summer is here, and it's a great time to create your outdoor room at Sunshine Furniture. Now, during our July clearance sale, you can save an additional 10% on all in-stock patio furniture from Lloyd Flanders, Woodard, Windward, Beechcraft, Pollywood, Berlin Gardens, and more. We're the outdoor furniture experts and have anything you need, all built to withstand the Florida elements, and we also specialize in cushions, umbrellas, outdoor rugs, and fire pits. For inside, we have the largest selection of coastal sofas, sleeper sofas, dining sets, recliners, and bedroom groups in light and airy coastal colors by Four Seasons, Capri, and Universal, including a gallery of Tommy Bahama. Come in now for our July sale, including 50% off all pictures, lamps, and accessories. Sunshine Furniture, $12.95 US 1 in the Publix Plaza, Vero Beach. Visit our website at sunshinefurniturecasual.com. Also, don't forget our outlet and sales center right across the street.
Sunshine Furniture.
Hey guys, welcome back to Beauty and the Beach Radio. I'm Cindy Getz, your host. We want to thank Dale Sorensen Real Estate for always being our exclusive sponsor. And shout out to, I'm going to say Lou Wilson, because he was my first sponsor of the show. So, but moving forward, and thank you for that introduction, Lou. I said, I'm going to do a radio show. And he said, all right, let's go. So thank you for being so willing.
How many years has it been?
I don't know. I got to look that up. It's been a while. It's been a while. We're probably going on 10 years.
Oh, I think you're past that.
Yeah.
It's long, yeah.
Dale Sorensen, thank you for being our sponsor. You can find them at 772-231-4712. You can also find them at sorensenrealestate.com. Whether you're buying or selling, they can take care of you. And also, speaking of taking care of us, we have varietals and more on the Royal Palm Point that takes care of our beverages for our guests. I must say, before I get him in trouble, Lou Wilson does not drink. So,
Cindy, they sold you a used bottle.
I know. What you see is empty. They have taken care of me and Cindy today. So, varietals, thank you for taking care of me and Cindy. But
I think you should get your money back.
It's a beautiful rosé, and I told him I said think communion, and they gave us a bottle of rosé, and it's called Whispering Angel.
Whispering, how appropriate.
Yes. So they know about our 22 and 22 challenge, and they gave us a beautiful bottle of rosé, and it's called Whispering Angel. So if you want to celebrate our 22 and 22 challenge, go get some Whispering Angel. It's around $20. It's very affordable and great for summertime. So no Whispering Angels here.
Are you feeling holier than you were when you began the show?
I don't know, but we're having a lot of fun. So Lou, we've only gone to 7, and we've really only touched about 3 different denominations. So 30 denominations to go, but only 15 churches to go, because we got to do 15 more. So for those of you listening, and I know Cindy, we were chatting during break, but we are going to visit all different types. So if you're listening right now and you want to promote or suggest your church, go to Beauty and the Beach Radio Facebook page and suggest, say, hey, I belong to such and such church. Please come. We'd love to have you. A lot of times, Lou, if somebody finds out, they save us a seat. They're like, oh, you're going to come.
People have been wonderful.
Yes, they really have. So that's been so enjoyable. Lou,
I do find it hard to believe that you belong to one church in particular, because every place we've gone, they all know Cindy. Maybe you're the celebrity here.
Oh my gosh. We have 30 seconds left. Lou, what's been your favorite part so far about this 22 and 22 challenge?
Just seeing all these different churches, meeting lots of new people, and hanging out with you.
Hey, that's a good answer.
I thought that'd be good.
I think, like you, it's been so nice to see people so open-armed and so generous and so kind. And Guys, I want to encourage you, if you're listening, start your own 22 and 22 challenge.
Yeah, it's a good
Grab
idea.
a buddy, and it makes it so much easier to have a buddy to walk into a church that you've never been to before.
Good idea.
And so, Lou, thank you for that. It's been a lot of fun, and I can't wait to finish out this challenge.
I can't either, so it's been a lot of
15
fun
to
for me
go.
too.
We got this.
We're going to make it.
All right.
All right.